Hello and welcome to the second episode of Spirits and Sinners. After last night's uneventful evening, we have re-researched the crime and found that the sighting happened the day after Halloween at between 7:30 and 8 o'clock. So we have decided to come back and give it another try and find this green-faced spirit that apparently appears in bushes over in that direction. So we're going to leave the car parked up here with the lights running so that the cameras will be able to focus on us and hopefully out into the darkness. So we will go and see what we can find. Right, so here we are at the pram again. The apparition is supposed to appear in these bushes over here. It's a bit easier to see tonight as the weather's not against us, but just gonna explain a little bit, because yesterday when we were at the tram station we filmed on the head cam some footage of us getting there and footage whilst we were there. When we came to research it when we got back and check what we'd got, there was nothing stored on the camera, even though we know it was recorded. So we're not quite sure what's happened, but it seems a little bit strange. We are going to go back to the tram stop later on this evening to see if we can see or hear anything.
Take a walk down here then, yeah?
Should we just get a quick recording of the handheld to show that this record light is on the monitor, just to show that we are definitely picking up footage with our head cam.
Right, so if we try with the recording for the voice again, I can just get a light something. We will ask the same questions as yesterday and see if we can get any kind of answer. Because yesterday we're not sure, but we think there may have been some kind of noise. And I'm here with Ducky and JP. We're here to try and communicate in any way that you feel. If you want to talk to us, if you want to maybe give us your name.
Firework.
Maybe where you come from. Is there anything else you want to tell us? You want to make some kind of noise to show that you are out there. You want to make some kind of noise to show that you are out there. You want to make some kind of noise to show that you are out there. We're not here to harm you in any way, but curious and trying to communicate with the people that live there after death. Thank you.
I believe when you die you just rot in the ground.
I'm not going to ride and I'm going to burn.
You just go burn and
No, I'm going to be reincarnated. I believe in reincarnation.
No, if there's reincarnation, if you believe in reincarnation, then you believe that there's something after death.
Yeah, but there's no... That doesn't prove ghosts. That's not proving that ghosts.
Reincarnation counts as life after death.
Reincarnation is just when you come back as
after you
something.
died.
Come back as something lesser than you were already.
Not necessarily. Sometimes you come back as something greater.
Alright, maybe something greater.
All the same.
All depends on what you do with your life.
Your actions in life.
Nice pickage of notes on camera, by the way.
What?
It's a nice pickage of nose on said camera.
Well, we're recording it now?
Yes.
Oh, right.
I thought that initially it was...
Station is just, you know, a better way of looking at it than just becoming something that's a spirit and being trapped.
Ah, but they're not all trapped.
Well, so some of them are in heaven.
Some of them are in the spirit world and come back because of fond memories.
Ah, but you said that it's not the memory of the human, it's the memory of the building that replays.
No, I didn't. I said that was a ghost.
Ghost.
Not a spirit, which is what I just said.
What's the difference? Gibberish, aren't they?
A ghost is an echo in the building, and the spirit is something that will interact with humans and know that they are interacting.
So the spirit is what we've just been trying to find at Carlton.
Yes.
Which, as I point out again, nothing happened.
We cannot prove this till we have listened to the recording.
Okay.
Yet to.
If there's another clicking sound, then you know.
It was not my cane this time.
Yeah, because your cane was not.
My cane was in my hands at the time.
Here's the Blackpool illumination.
Yay! She's walking in front of us. Maybe she wants to become a ghost.
With a face you would like to hold. Yes.
You've heard anything about said bit of ghost trap?
Death is imminent.
Don't criticise my driving.
If you want to criticise your driving, that people walk. Taking out like a sore thumb.
What? Haunted Blackpool, isn't that supposed to be... Oh, we need to go there.
Where?
Yeah, we should film Haunted Blackpool. Ask it some questions.
See if it replies to us.
See if it knows about the tram. Okay, Phil, where are we?
Blackpool illumination.
Again?
Again.
This time they're on.
We thought we'd demonstrate to you what they look like. Creepy as hell.
Mr. Tumble.
Interesting is coming up, which will give you some stories of some hauntings of Blackpool. Decided that Haunted Blackpool, the illumination, would be a good place to try and find some more stories to basically see if we can prove them or disprove them. Particularly the one about Leighton Cram, if they've been moved and just dumped into the Cram.
In a mass grave.
Basically a mass grave. It might be worth trying to contact them with the recording and see if we can get the E.V.P. going and see what they've got to say and hope that it's friendly spirits rather than poltergeists, I guess. And we'll see what we can find. Some of the other stories are probably worth looking at, but trying to get into the places
suddenly it started to rattle.
is quite difficult.
Well, you can imagine what that is. It turned tail and ran
for the
exactly
future, I
very
suppose.
fast right up the stairs again.
Have I told you about our little resident? Quite the handful she is. Likes to keep tabs on us. But it didn't warn us when we took over the lease of the shop, of course. Oh no. We just thought it was a nice little learner. It's like Maxim's gift shop. We tried to play some of the flying machine around. Oh, we do a while of it. We got more than we bargained for. It's haunted, see. One of the staff who was there when we took over told us about it. It's a little girl, the ghost. 9 years old, poor thing. The first time I saw her, I'd just closed and was reckoning up at the till. I thought she was a child who'd got left behind by her parents, and I'd locked up without seeing her. I'm sorry, I said. You'll have to go. I'll let you out. Can we help find your mummy and daddy? She gave me this look, picked up a souvenir mug off the shelf, and hurled it across the shop. Smashed all over the place, it did. You watch what you're doing, I said, but she'd gone. Vanished. Gave me a turn. I even walked over to where the bits of broken mug were, to check I'd not been imagining things. But no, I hadn't had a dream. Thanks for asking. I didn't want to hang about that night, let me tell you, so I bagged up the cash from the till, turned out the lights, and I got right out of there. The next morning, when I opened up, it was like the place had been burgled. Stuff everywhere. Chairs knocked over, broken glass, straws hanging open, and all my stock moved about. But no one could have got in, the doors were all locked, and the alarm was still set. A puzzler. But Jack from the staff didn't tell me what it was. You upset her, didn't you? He said. She didn't like the way you talked to her. That put a shiver through me, that did. The skin itched all over. Do you feel how cold it is in here? He said. It always is when she's upset. And she's been busy. It took us an hour to put the place back together and get it opened up. And just before I did open the door, I turned to where she'd been stood and I said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to upset you. You can stay in play as long as you like. I reckon I must have said something right. Because here's a funny thing. About a week later, these lads came in the shop. They'd had a bit to drink, and they were a bit too young for it, and they were out for trouble, shoving each other and being rude to the other customers. I was about to go over and have a word, throw them out, when I noticed one of them putting something in his pocket. Just a little trinket, only worth a couple of quid. That's not the point. I got out from behind the counter. Before I could say anything, the lad's hair stood on end and he yelped, clutched at his leg like it had been kicked, and he went all cold in the shop. What's happening? What is it? One of his mates was saying. But he was just hopping about and all like tears in his eyes. And then he reacted again like she kicked him somewhere else, you know what I mean? I'm sorry, he said. Put it back, I swear. And he got out the trinket, he got it out of his pocket and put it back on the shelf and he ran for his life. White as a ghost if you want to put it that way. Well, I never had to worry about shoplifters after that. And I don't need a guard dog either. I even thought of putting a sign up. Thieves will be punished from beyond the grave. But I decided not to. She wouldn't like that.
Thank you. Maybe where you're from. Tell us something about yourself or anything you want to talk to us about. You make some noise or do something to let us know that you're here. Thank you.
Oh.
Right, somebody. You want to get closer? No, it's Phil, Ducky and JP, and we're here to try and prove that there's life after death, and we like to try and capture some talking from you, if possible. So if you want to tell us your name, maybe where you come from. Anything else you want to tell us? If you want to try and make a noise or do something to show us. Okay, thank you.
So Phil, would you mind telling us what the purpose is behind the voice recordings that we've been doing?
Well, it's a widely accepted way of trying to communicate with spirits, where apparently if you were to ask questions in the areas where spirits are supposed to haunt, they can communicate through the voice recorder without us actually hearing it. They can, when you run it through your computer and listen to it on loudspeakers, you can sometimes hear them answering the questions you give them, or the noises come in direct responses to the questions and therefore believed to be a response from the other side. Hello, spirits out there? My name's Phil, Ducky, JT. I'm here to try and communicate with you and maybe try and prove there's life after death. So, tell us your name.
And for anyone sort of wondering how we're going to hear anything with this road noise,
it can be run through sound software where you can take away background noises of traffic or human voices to leave what's left behind, so that you can get a clear sound of whatever has been left on the recorder.
yeah, these are significant things that we think could possibly be spirits, is it?
Yes, it's believed to be a way for the spirits to communicate with us. Although at present we haven't heard anything on any of our recording.
Which is 1-0 to the skeptic.
Hopefully that will change after listening to this one.
Really? Well, we've been to 2 sites twice now and we've not seen nothing.
No, we have not seen anything.
So come on lads, you need to do your better.
Well, you never know, we might have picked up something on the E.V.P.
Maybe.
So, if we have, you'll have something that you have to voice your opinion about.
Maybe. Well, I think we should head back in to HQ and view the footage then.
Right.
Right then.
Sounds like a plan.
Hello and welcome to Spirits and Sinners. We're going to try a theory out now, because whilst looking at the footage there's a light anomaly that appears on one of the illuminations of the Teddy Bear's Picnic. Unfortunately, the illuminations have now finished and the Teddy Bear's Picnic have been removed. But to try and test the theory, I'm wearing a jacket with light reflective material on the back, which I'm going to stand roughly where we believe the teddy bears were and have our driver drive round and replicate what we saw, which initially was a car driving down the promenade, and then we're going to try it from a side street that's opposite and see if that causes the action that we saw. On the footage we didn't see any car come from there, but we're going to do it just to see if that's the effect that we got. So we'll start the test.
just done the first run from the promenade, come straight down the promenade. We did not pick up any reflection from the back of the jacket. Test 2 is also recording from the side road. Has also resulted in no reflection from the writing on the back of the jacket.
Okay, we're going to do the conclusion to the 2 days footage now, where we've had a chance to review all the footage between all three of us, and we're going to say our comments on it and then have the skeptic's view on it and see if he can explain any of it. So the first thing that we've noticed on the video is on day one, when we go to Brisbane tram station, there is a light anomaly that appears on a teddy bear's picnic illumination, where the face starts off dimly lit and then goes to brightly lit. The illumination itself is normally lit up with a external light, nothing inside the teddy bear, and we can't explain it at the moment. We've had a test done to see with a car whether driving down the prom produces the same light anomaly, or whether coming from the side road produces the same light anomaly, but nothing on our tests has shown up the same light, so it leads us to basically conclude that it's something a bit unusual. We can't say for sure that it's obviously a spirit or anything, because there's no contact or anything with it other than the light, so it's basically something abnormal in our investigation.
Also on day one at the Brisbane tram station, different members of our teams felt different body temperatures despite the distinct weather being a rather cold night and also a lot of rain. Ducky, our skeptic, who was wearing shorts and shirt, felt extremely warm, whereas me and Phil, who had more clothing on us, we felt quite cold whilst we was in our in the tram shelter. It is believed that during paranormal activity that people can feel the area around them changing in temperature. This could be down to our position within the tram shelter. There might have been different areas where it might be warmer to actually position yourself. So it's really down to your own opinion on whether you believe something's actually happened then.
I've just suddenly got quite warm, considering I'm wearing shorts.
If you tell us anything else, it's weird because I'm quite cold.
So
Yeah, we are sat in the shelter though. We'll have to.
Okay, the next point that we have is, whilst at the tram station again on the first day, we were sat in the shelter doing E.V.Ps, when we then switched to taking photographs. The camera had got fresh batteries in it that had only been put in at the beginning of the investigation. I started taking pictures inside the tram stop, then went outside and started taking pictures. I'd taken about 7 pictures when the camera stopped working altogether. I was stood outside on the tram tracks at the time, and we've later realised that the time that I was stood on the tram tracks was approximately 2:30 in the morning, which is the time when the ghost tram is supposed to travel down the lines. So the power in the batteries is believed to be drained when there's a high presence of paranormal activity. So it could be possible that the ghost tram travelled down the lines whilst I was stood on it, and that is the reason for the battery drain. We don't have any other reason. The batteries, like I say, were brand new, so that is the explanation that we feel would fit it best, because we know the batteries had full power and the camera showed that itself. So that is our conclusion on it. I'm sure the skeptic will have other explanations for this.
Get one with the flash on me and JP.
What?
Get one with the flash on over here. Not the rain though, because the rain will listen up. Ooh, your camera stopped working.
It's really weird. There were fresh batteries before we came out.
The last point we'd like to make about day one is our head camera, which I'm partly responsible for, but not entirely responsible for. What we'd like to say is that when we went to the creme, initially we couldn't get the head cam working at all. We couldn't get it set up to record. For some reason the equipment just wasn't allowing us to set up the recording options. But as we was leaving the creme, we were able to get it working pretty much straight away, whilst doing the exact same things we was doing whilst preparing to record at the creme. This could be maybe something was trying to stop us from recording anything whilst we was there, but obviously that can't be the entire point, because otherwise our other camera probably wouldn't work either. Also, when we was on our way to Bispham tram station, having got the head cam to start working, and we were definitely recording, by the time we'd finished our recording for day one and headed back to review the footage, we'd found that no footage was left on the head cam at all. We are unsure about what might have caused this to occur. Again, might have been something that didn't quite want us to have the footage that we had, seeing as what I was doing with the head cam. A lot of the time I was away from the main team doing my own footage recording. Also, another point that we can make about the head cam is that when you actually manually stop the recording, it automatically saves all the footage up to that point onto the device, regardless of whether the power's almost gone or not. So realistically, at the end of day one, we should have definitely had some footage on the head cam. Hopefully our skeptic might have some views on why the camera wasn't working that night, so I'll have to see what he says in a minute.
Okay, on day two of the footage, we actually have only caught one thing on it, although in our opinion it's probably the most important thing, because whilst we were doing E.V.Ps at the creme, the actual recording device for the E.V.P didn't catch the noise, but on the actual video camera, when we were reviewing the footage, in direct response to one of our questions, you hear a rather loud bang that sounds like something is knocking on a metallic object, whether it's a bin in the area, or maybe even Ducky's car that was pretty close to us.
Trying to say my car's dodgy.
Yes. No. It was a definite bang of a knock rather than something internal in the car making the noise, or the engine making the noise, which you do hear a couple of times on the video. But the actual bang itself sounds more like a physical bang on the bonnet or on the roof or something like that. There was nobody else there, and we couldn't see anything that could have caused it. And earlier on in the footage you hear a firework, but like at the time we realised it's a firework and we state it on the video. This time we just didn't hear anything, hence the reason for us not actually saying anything on the video at the time. So in our opinion, the actual noise could be caused by the entity that is said to come in visitation on the right hand side of the crematorium gate. It's roughly where we were standing anyway, so realistically that is what we think the noise could be. Again, the skeptic will no doubt have more information on what he feels it could be. So we'll hand over the floor to the skeptic now to talk you through his version of all the events.
Hello and welcome to the Skeptics part of the show. A few interesting points were made in the video that we have made for the 2 nights of the Halloween special. First one that I'd like to get to is the teddy bear's picnic. Okay, well, the test was done with the car and no sort of light anomalies were found to be caused by me driving the car past numerous times. So I conclude that it could possibly well be something paranormal. Big cheers for the retards. Right. Okay, well, the first night I did state that I was quite warm, and because I was a stupid idiot I wore shorts and a hoodie pretty much, so I feel that it might have been the slight onset of hypothermia maybe. Okay, the batteries for the camera on the first night wore out. It's not shockingly surprising seeing as they're from Poundland, but also we were right next to an electric station, so there could be some sort of effect of electromagnetic pulses that drain the batteries maybe. Although it didn't have effects on some of the other equipment, these were your standard AA batteries, so they might be a bit more susceptible to it. Day 2. Banging on the car. Could possibly well be a firework, but the noise was made after a specific request made by Phil. So I don't really have any sort of explanation for it. It possibly could well be contact from the other side. You need to look into the camera.
I'm looking into the camera.
You're not, because I can see you looking at me. This is the break, anyway.
Well, no, because you haven't actually said that it was a cold, rainy day, and we're not trying to say that the coldness is down to us, it's down to the weather. So
I'm about to do that all over again.
Cut! Outtake! Right, ready? 3.
Also on day 1 at the Bishop tram station.
What are you laughing at?
Put it together.
What? It's because I'm being professional.
no, because you've got a cheesy grin on your face.
Right, here we go. Start again. Again.
Take 3.
Take 3. Marker.
Also during day 1 at the Bishop tram station. Together.
I just got over it.
Yeah. Right, ready. And mark it.
Also on day 1 at the Bishop tram station. I can't keep it together.
Right, come on, lads. Let's get it together. J-Phil, we just need you in the shot.
Right.
Now stay there.
Keep
Ready?
a straight face as well.
I am.
Working, yeah.
Right, you ready?
No, I'm not.
Compose. Deep breath. Marker. Ready?
I look good.
You look gay. Right.
Such thing as the afterlife.